Hi and welcome to finally the 5th video of the Advanced series. Now, if you haven't seen these videos before, please go back and watch from the basic beginner videos through the intermediate and the advanced. I say that more now than ever from the amazing experiences that I've had over the last couple of years. And before I go on, for those that showed me around Dubai, the UK, Europe, America, that let me stay at their house and organised amazing work, you know who you are. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've done for me. It's extraordinary. And what I learnt on this trip is that more than ever, efficiency is the most important element that we need to look after when we're developing our brass playing. So I'd like to just say, I want to clear a couple of things up where what I'm very, very concerned about, and this is for my students, for my own development and sharing for you here in these videos, is that the end game is we put our instrument to our face and we play the sound that we hear in our mind. We don't want any conscious thought going into the process of music making. And whether we're improvising or looking at a chart, the sound that comes into our mind ideally triggers the muscle memory, and it happens second nature. It happens naturally. Now that's all very well and good, and that's what we're aspiring to. But to develop that muscle memory, we need to go through particular processes, and everyone is different. You will notice some people are better at range or better at endurance or better sound naturally when they begin. But generally everyone needs to improve particular parts of their playing, and you will know what the particular parts of your playing that you would like to address. And generally it comes down to efficiency. So when practicing all the things that I've spoken about, and I'm going to emphasize it more now and in the upcoming Platinum series of videos, that I'm going to reinforce there are two styles of practice. There is the results and sound driven. It's all about getting the result. And we're focused on the sound and we concentrate on the sound. And then there is the process driven, where we need to stick with a process and ignore the result. Now that might seem strange, but if we've got a problem with choking or kicking too much within our abdominal muscles or pushing too hard onto the face, whatever it might be, that is an overexertion. And the only way that we can overcome that is to create a new neural pathway, create a new habit, let go of the old process and develop a new process. Now, of course, it's simply not as easy as deciding to do something differently and more efficiently. It takes time. And the problem that we have is if the result isn't there, we throw away the process and force the result. And of course, if we engage in old habits, we're going to get old results. This has become no more apparent than the amount of people that I met who have suffered from, are suffering from, or have overcome, or have retired thanks to a condition called focal dystonia. Now, interesting, I got emailed about 6 or 7 years ago, someone saying, have you heard of focal dystonia? I had not heard of it. I couldn't even spell it. Now, I was confronted by it in Europe and more so throughout America. And what it, in very simple terms, excuse me, it is a condition that can happen suddenly or can creep up, and it's stress related and it's efficiency related. The people that have developed it have recognised that they were very inefficient players over the years, And eventually the brain and the body says, no more, no more. This is not going to work. So to give you a bit of an understanding of what happens, you're a violinist and you've been playing all your life, and you might just be a little inefficient in your body. And your right hand, one day you go and you want to move your third finger, and this happens instead. So the brain has sent the message, I want to move my fourth finger here. But in the process of sending that message, wires have got crossed, neural pathways have merged, and all of a sudden, the muscles that you don't want to work engage. So you go to play a note on a trumpet and you shake and you cannot play the note. Everything that you don't want to work works. Everything that you want to work doesn't work. And so from years of habit, developing your playing in a particular way, eventually the body goes no. Now it can be overcome. How do we overcome it? We have to create new pathways. How do we create new pathways, new habits, new ideas, new visualizations, new repetition? And if you're repeating a very, very new exercise, and for example, tissue, visualizer, lead pipe, and that exercise is not getting a result, that's not a bad thing. As I said in the lead pipe video, don't force the result because that's reinforcing negative habits. But stick to the process and the result will come. Now, I was fortunate enough to meet a gentleman by the name of David Vining, and I implore you, check out his website and read his story. He teaches people how to overcome focal dystonia, as does a woman named Jan Kagaris, who used to teach at North Texas State University. These two have dealt with some of the top players in the world to get them through this horrid condition. And it can be very, very trying. But if you are patient and you understand the processes of playing, then you can overcome it. So the overview, the overall mission of the Mystery to Mastery approach is recognising the system, understanding how the system works, and recognising in your own playing where you might be going wrong and going down an inefficient pathway. And we want to change those habits, and that may mean practicing one way during the day and playing another way at night. And I often get asked this question, Greg, when you made changes to your playing, were you still doing gigs? Of which I said, absolutely, I have to make a living. I was doing television and professional theatre shows and freelance gigs on the setup that I'd been using for many years, but practicing a completely different way, putting things between my teeth and experimenting, exploring, learning about the process. Why do I read books by Arthur H. Bernard and John Backus and the physics? Why do we try every single method? We're looking, we're exploring to find how to make a difference to our playing. And Bobby Shue sent me an email forwarded to him a few years ago, and it said, if there's only a few laws of physics to adhere to, and if you adhere to them, all of the methods will work. If you ignore the laws of physics, none of the methods will work. So what we're trying to do here is simplify how the instrument works and set in your mind a psychology, an understanding of how it works and how it should feel. Understand how it works, then recognise how I want it to feel. So the singing exercises that we've done, please look at them and understand a basic mechanical system of how the sound is created from the body, then how I want the lips to interact with the airflow exactly the same way as the vocal cords do. I want the lips to interact with the air the same way the vocal cords do. So again, to sum up, please go back and watch these videos and reinforce the ideas in your mind. If you're having problems with any of them, stick with the process and the result will come. Do not engage old negative habits and reinforce inefficient playing, because it will limit your progress and possibly lead to even worse outcomes, where if you stick with the process, you're happily sticking with the process regardless of the result, because logically you understand how the system works. And then, as David Vining says, he took the 10,000 repeats approach, was prepared to sit there and just let it all go, because if you engage old habits, you will not create new habits. And you will see that all of the Mystery to Mastery videos are about developing a new understanding and new habits. Then when we understand and we work through, the books are developed as the people that have them, it goes up step by step by step. And harmonic slurs and all the fundamentals, tonguing, double tonguing, intervals. There's only so many exercises you can do on a brass instrument. But if you recognize where inefficiencies creep in, then we can get rid of them, and you're more likely to have better results as you go along. Now, this is the last of the basic videos, and coming up later in the year, we are launching a brand new website. So please subscribe now so I can keep you informed as to how this website is coming along. We've got so many exciting things coming. There's going to be a forum on there, the Platinum series of videos that I'll tell you more about as we go along. There's going to be a lot of fun, interviews and all sorts of things. So please stay in touch. Now is the time before the new website begins to go back and refresh on all of the videos that we've done so far. So please enjoy the site. Send me an email, get in touch. Any questions, please ask. I'm also looking for feedback on the site. What would you like to see? What videos would you like? I know that some people have requested videos and I haven't received the email. I apologise about that. We love technology when it works. But going forward, there's going to be a lot more. I have learnt so much in the last couple of years, and I can't wait to share it all with you. So in the meantime, happy playing, happy trumpeting, happy brass playing, and please stay in touch, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.